With the goal of running a virtually paperless event, the EdTech Lead Planning Committees knew from our first meeting that we needed a mobile app. The solution we found was too good to keep secret. I'm here to tell you I actually built an app, and I believe you can too. Pew Internet Research predicts that by 2020, apps will occupy the majority of technology users' time. I can testify to this shift as my personal preferences have migrated to smaller devices with focused apps. This tells me that as a group of people with the good news to share, we need to begin developing and using apps for more than big events. But even though we may agree this is true, app building isn't necessarily for the faint of heart. At least I thought that was the case until I found Glide at glideapps.com. They've simplified app building tremendously, so much in fact, it's actually fun. But even more impressive is the fact that behind the curtain, all the app magic is driven by a Google Sheet. And the price? Free. Wells Tech listeners will know this is my favorite price point. The only trade-off is some Glide branding in your app, but it's really minimal. And you can up the ante if you want to be free of the branding and use your own domain or list your app in the Android or Apple app stores. To get started, you just need a free Glide account tied to your Google account, since Glide and Google are best friends. It helps to start with a template so you can manipulate your Google Sheet data and play with all the options to figure out how things work. We'll talk about Markdown in a minute, but the star of the show will be your own great content. Glide provides several templates for you to explore, but I've also shared a copy of the EdTech Lead Google Sheet for you to use as your first app. Make a copy of it in your own Google Drive. Once logged in, click the New App and select the spreadsheet. Glide will read the spreadsheet data and create a starting layout for your app. You'll use the primary commands on the left along with the properties commands on the right to refine the layout of your app. And it'll be easy to see how the data in your spreadsheet translates to the app. Each row of the spreadsheet is an item on the list, and the tabs of the sheet relate to the buttons along the bottom of the app. Using the Properties area, you can easily change the layout of the home page to columns and hide the details. Just like that, your home page is transformed. Clicking on the first homepage icon allows you to drill down to see the detailed display page. I don't want the long description field showing in that image area at the top, so I removed it from the title. Instead, I added a rich text component to hold it. And using rich text, you can use Markdown. Markdown is shown here as an example. You can see what's in that long description field for the announcements page from the Google Sheet. Using simple annotations in the text, I indicate headings, bold, horizontal lines, and my content displays beautifully in the app. Another example from the events page, I included links by putting the link text in square brackets and the URL in parentheses immediately following. Oh, and the Markdown is pretty forgiving. You can see I used asterisks to bold both inside the square brackets and outside the whole string of text, and the results are perfect in the display. You can Google Markdown to learn more about the syntax. Here's an example from commonmark.org, just one resource that's available. Switching to the tabs area on the left, you can control the buttons at the bottom of the app, choosing to show or hide certain tabs and selecting appropriate icons to represent the content. In the settings area, you can change the app icon. For EdTech Lead, I actually uploaded our logo and it looked great with the orange theme. You can also give your app a name, an author, set the first part of the app URL, and edit the app description. One thing to keep in mind is your app functions as a window to content on the web, including your own website as well as other sites, plus hosted photos, audio, and video content, as well as social media content. You can link and in many cases embed all of these in Glide. For example, if you're curious about a sectional at the summit, you may drill down in the schedule section of the EdTech Lead app and click on the description link. Just like that, you can read about the curriculum sectional from the EdTech Lead website. What content areas are you envisioning right now? Perhaps you'd like an app to showcase your ministry efforts or a special event you're planning. It's sure to be a hit with the soccer moms, for instance, if you create an app to house your sports and activity information. As for me, my amazing app turned out to be all about llamas. Shout out to the divers for the inspiration. Any Let Me Be Your Llama fans out there? Now I can say I built a second app. And now it's your turn. Some of you watching this are going to create an app, perhaps even today. When you do, share your app in the comments so we can check it out. Thanks for watching.